Hey everybody, and welcome back. So glad you could make it again to another video. And today we're gonna have some fun and make one of our family's favorite recipes. Hello family and friends, I'm Susan and welcome to my home. Hey everybody, and this is Susan and welcome back. I got a really good buy on some blackberries at Food Line this week, so I thought I would make a blackberry cobbler. I'm going to use the base recipe for my peach cobbler that I've used many times before and just add blackberries instead. So come along, let me show you how I make a blackberry cobbler just like my peach cobbler. So good and buttery. It's amazing. So my ponytail's up. Let's get to cooking. Let's get going on this blackberry cobbler. I'm going to base this off of my peach cobbler recipe, which is 1/4 pound of butter, which I'm going to put salted butter into the baking dish. And I've just had this laying out on the counter, so it's a little bit softer than normal. I'm going to go ahead and turn the oven on to 350. To start preheating, and I'm going to go ahead and get the blackberries in the pot to be cooking down just a little bit. They had a special on blackberries at Food Line for 3 for $5, so I got the 3 blackberries, and I'm going to rinse them real quick and put them in the pot with some water and sugar, and I'll show you what happens next. And I have the blackberries in the pot. I have half a cup of water, a whole cup of water, in the pot. I'm going to add 1/4 cup of sugar to sweeten those up. And I'm going to let these simmer just a little bit to cook down because they are quite hard and they need to create a sugary broth once they cook down a little bit. So I'm going to let this cook on a medium-high for just a little bit until they start to lose some of their consistency because they are a little bit tough and they need to soften up before we can put them in the cobbler. So let's let that cook for about 5-10 minutes while the oven's heating up. That way they will get a little bit softer and they'll be ready to put in the cobbler itself. The blackberries have cooked a little bit. They have cooked down just a dab. They're still pretty firm, which is good because they're going to cook in the pie. And it's time to put them into the cobbler. Okay, and here is the butter that's melted. The next thing we want to do is add the batter mixture to the top of the butter. And I'm going to use a spatula to help do that. And let me go ahead and pour the batter mixture as evenly as I can over top of the butter. Okay, and we've got the butter was on bottom, the batter is on top. It's kind of migrated a little bit. That's okay. Now the next thing we need to do is put the blackberries on top of this batter mixture. And try to disturb it as little as possible. So as you see, I've got the blackberries and I'm going to place them easily on top of the batter. So that way it displaces as little of the batter as possible because you want the batter to bake up through the blackberries. Okay, and now I've got a lot of juice, which I'm going to pour. Over the top, there you go. Now I'm going to go ahead and put this blackberry cobbler into the oven, 350 for 30 to 35 minutes. We'll see how it looks, and then we will go from there. It's in the oven, and we'll give it about 30 minutes, and we'll check on it in 30 minutes. Okay, here's the blackberry cobbler. Now let's look. It's actually not jiggling a whole lot, and it's got a good top on it. So I'm gonna let it cook for about 5 more minutes at 350, and then we're gonna turn it off, let it sit in there for another 5 to 10. Okay, and it's been 35 minutes, and that, I don't know if you can see it that good, it's looking really good. I'm gonna turn the heat completely off in the oven and let it set in there for about, I believe 10 minutes is probably, that's what I do my peach cobbler. So kitchen timer 10. And we're just gonna let it set in there and cool down, and the top will brown up even more than it is, and we'll come back in 10 minutes. And I pulled this out after it was in the oven for 10 minutes, and I've let it rest for probably about 15 to 20 minutes at least. And as you can see, it's still got a good bit of juice in it. I may have put too much water in it, but that's okay, because it'll still be awesome. So let me go ahead and see if I can dip this out. All right. It does have a lot of juice in it, but that's okay. Put the juice all the way around it. And it is still very, very hot. That might be why it's still kind of juicy. But there you go. Blackberry cobbler. Made like my peach cobbler. And still hot. But I'm sure it's going to be great. Okay, guys. And this is how thick you want to let your stuff get before you get it out of there. Danny was wanting some warm black cobbler. So I got it out. It was warm and it was still watery. But look at this. It is solidified quite a bit now that it's cooled off. But this was really good. I was very tickled. I have only made it maybe once or twice with blackberries, and it was really good. If you want to follow the original recipe, you can go look at the peach cobbler one. If you want to do the blackberry recipe, follow this one. Just add the water and sugar I put in the blackberries. And like I said, I got 3 small containers of blackberries, and it was really good. And this is all that's left. Danny got 2 helpings, and I got a small helping. If that tells you how good this was. And it'll be gone for too long, because it was really good. I hope you've enjoyed this video on Blackberry Cobbler. Quick, easy dessert to make. Like I said, it's made on my base recipe of peach cobbler. Just add blackberries instead. If you've seen my peach cobbler video, then you kind of know how awesome this recipe is. And it was so good. Please try it. You could put any type of fruit in it. You just need to make sure that you add any sugar that you need or liquid that you might need beforehand before you put it in the dish to bake. But other than that, until next time, see you then. Please like, subscribe, follow me on Instagram or Pinterest, and ring that bell so you don't miss any of the upcoming videos.